Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurhaliza Putri Mahmuda. You may call me Liza. My student ID is 083. So today I'm going to explain what is the cool things from the textbook and also the limited things from this textbook called Values in English Teaching by Bill Johnson. Okay guys, so I'm gonna explain what this textbook about. So Values in English Language Teaching by Bill Johnson is a textbook that shows teaching English is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about the values and morals teachers bring to their work. Every choice a teacher makes in class is connected to what they believe is right or fair. And let's dive with what's the inside of this textbook. First, teaching English is about values. So, the book tells us that teaching English is full of values. This means teachers don't just give knowledge, they also influence how students think and behave. For example, a teacher who cares about fairness might help students who have a hard time, while another teacher might focus more on discipline. These choices come from the teacher's values. Sometimes, these values can conflict. For example, a teacher might want to treat every student equally but also needs to follow school rules that don't always fit every student's needs. So, the book asks teachers to think about these problems instead of ignoring them. The second, moral problems teachers face. So, the textbook shares real stories about hard choices teachers like their experiences must make. For example, what should a teacher do if a student cheats on a test? Should the teacher punish the students or try to understand why the student cheated? Or what if students come from different cultures with different beliefs? How can the teacher respect everyone and still teach well? So, these stories come from teachers all over the world. They show that these problems happen everywhere. But the right answer is not always easy. So, the teachers need to think carefully and make good choices. And then the third, teachers need to think about their values. So, Bill Johnson says teachers should always think about their own values and how this affects their teaching. This is called reflection. Do you know reflection? By thinking about their values, teachers can understand why they make certain decisions and how those decisions affect students. Reflection helps teachers balance their own beliefs with school rules or tests. For example, a teacher might want to focus on helping students learn in a way that fits them, but also has to prepare them for exams. Thinking about these issues help teachers find the best way to teach. Like it's overwhelming maybe. And the fourth, teachers' role and power in the classroom. The book also talks about how teachers have power in the classroom. Teachers decide what students learn, how they behave, and whose opinions matter. This power comes with responsibility, of course. Teachers should be aware of how their values affect their power and how students feel in class. The last, which is the fifth, English and culture in a global world. Because English is spoken all over the world, right? Teaching English also means dealing with different cultures. Sometimes English can bring ideas from one culture that might not fit well with others. The book tells teachers to be careful and respectful of all cultures when teaching English. Okay guys, so I'm gonna explain what this textbook. So yeah, let's talk about what's good and what's not so good about the textbook. So first is the strengths. It talks about something important but often ignored, the moral side of teaching. Most books focus only on methods or language, but this one looks deeper. And also, yeah, the sentence more academic. So second, it uses real examples from teachers worldwide, so you can see how these ideas work in real life. The third, it encourages teachers to think about their own values and how this affect their teaching, which help teachers grow professionally. And then for the weaknesses, so the textbook doesn't give quick or easy solutions. Instead, it asks reader to think about deeply, which can be hard if you want simple answers. Some parts are a bit philosophical and use difficult words, so it might be challenging for readers new to these ideas. Also, because it focuses on values, it doesn't give many practical teaching tips or lesson plans. So that is for the strengths and also the limited from the textbook. So to sum up, this Values in English Language Teaching is a unique textbook or book that helps teachers see the moral side of their work. It's not an easy read, but it's very rewarding if you want to grow as a teacher, especially for English language teacher. Thank you for watching. If you want to be a better, more thoughtful teacher, I highly recommend reading this book. See you next time.